What's up, geeks, nerds, all that line between? I'm just a common fan back with a new video, and today I wanted to have a little discussion. This is going to be a little different than most things. I'm not unboxing anything, I'm not showcasing anything. I just really wanted to have a discussion about something that's been kind of heavy on my little geek slash collector's heart, and that's the closing down, the bankruptcy, the shutting down of Toys R Us. It's funny. It's one of those things where it's like you don't really appreciate it until it's gone, right? So I can't say that before Nolan was born, before we brought Nolan into this world, that I ever really shopped at Toys R Us. I mean, I really can't think of a time where I was like, "Ooh, I really want to get Toys R Us." That's also because I didn't really start collecting until the announcement of Black Panther was coming out in the trailer, and it just kind of reignited this spark in me to just accept the geek inside. And Toys R Us has tons of Toys R Us exclusive merchandise from Marvel Legends, from Funko, Pops, all kinds of stuff. And so I really never really had a reason to visit Toys R Us, never had a reason to go, just never went. And then when Nolan was born, we registered there, and so we would go there and get his diapers, and I believe his crib probably came from there and from Babies R Us. And I just want to know, like, what do you guys think? Like, I feel like Toys R Us could have been saved. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't have a business degree, and I'm not about to break down the business side of the stores closing down and what that means and all this kind of stuff. But these are just like my fan opinions of what we could have done to save Toys R Us. Now, the first thing is shop there. Right now, it's easy to blame, stuff like Amazon and all these other competitors for Toys R Us being shut down. But at the end of the day, we could have shopped there as fans, and it's crazy to see now when you go to Toys R Us and see how the aisles are bare and they have caution tape up because they don't want you to go down the aisles that doesn't have any stuff down there because they're trying to break stuff down, and you see people just loading up. I mean, every time I've gone there to try to grab a couple of things, and try to see if they're getting stuff, because it's weird because they're closing down but they're also still restocking new items, so it's kind of weird. But people are coming out in like buggies and buggies. I went there and there was somebody coming out with 2 buggies filled from top to bottom of nothing but toys. And I'm like, wow, if we could have supported Toys R Us like this earlier, we could have saved them, because they would have not had to go into a bankruptcy and close down their stores, stuff like that. So I always find that really interesting. But of course, people are there because there's sales going on. I get that, but I just find it's kind of interesting. Second thing is that Toys R Us couldn't compete with Amazon. I think Walmart smartened up and they're like, okay, if we're going to compete with Amazon, we need to offer 2-day shipping as well, because there's just something about going on Amazon.com, seeing an item that you want, being a Prime member, seeing that it does qualify for Prime shipping, and then ordering it and then getting here. There's even been some times where I've ordered an item from Amazon under 2-day shipping, and it actually got to me the next day somehow. Like, it is ridiculous. And plus, the prices are really good. And also, Amazon, as well as now Walmart, has third-party sellers that may or may not do 2-day shipping, but they can offer a cheaper price than even what Amazon is offering. And it's like, how can you not do that? Like Toys R Us, did you not see the writing on the wall? Did you not see the writing on the wall when Walmart went into 2-day shipping? I think that could have helped them out tremendously in pushing more online traffic. Because here's the thing, we're quickly moving into an age where we just don't want to interact with anybody else. I was out today trying to pick up a couple of things. I went to 2 stores and I was like, I'm done. It's humid. It feels like all the stores have the AC turned off. There's just people everywhere. People are getting on my nerves, and I just couldn't do it. I just came back home. So I really feel like that's part of the problem too, is that if Toys R Us would have increased their online presence, that they could have possibly made more money and made more revenue in order to keep the company afloat. Another thing is that I feel like the size of the stores is really a problem. Now, granted, Babies R Us and Toys R Us, they just, because I believe at one point there were Babies R Us stores and then Toys R Us stores, and then I think they merged, or maybe they didn't. I don't know. I feel like I remember seeing the Babies R Us store by itself at some point in my life, but maybe not. But having such a huge store requires a bunch of space for sale items, a bunch of space for inventory, and a bunch of money to pay people to stock and catalog and take inventory of and all this stuff. And so you have people working on the toy side, people working on the baby side, and it's just so much. And I feel like you're paying, the overhead to keep that going had to be, incredible compared to what they were actually bringing in. And obviously that's the case because they're no longer operating. I feel like that was a problem. I really don't know if that could have been avoided at all, but I really feel like that's a problem that the store had. Another one I feel that kind of led to the shutdown of Toys R Us is other stores like Target and Walmart, and not to blame Target and Walmart at all, but think about it, all right? If parents are busy, I can attest to that. Nolan's mom is a work from home mom. She is a fantastic work from home mom, and I really don't know how she balances what she can do as far as watching him, teaching him, making sure he learns new skills and new stuff, and then also doing the stuff it takes to take care of him, buying diapers, buying food, shopping, buying presents for his friends. I mean, I sometimes get overwhelmed if I have to take him out and go to more than 2 stores. I'm like, well, forget it. Whatever else we needed, I'm just not going to get it, and we're just going to go home and we're just going to deal with what we have. But when a parent is able to take their child and go to one store that they can get everything from, it saves so much time. When you can stop into Walmart or a Target and you can go shop for groceries, you can shop for clothes, you can get music and DVDs, you can buy a computer, you can go down the aisle and find toys for your kids, you can buy gift cards for other people. It's like, why would you ever want to go anywhere else, right? It kind of cuts down on going to those specialty stores for families, especially when families don't have the time or the flexibility to do so. Now, I'm not saying that Toys R Us should have added a food section, but I do believe that, parents and families are the main market for Toys R Us, and then those families were already going to Walmart and Target because they can just get so much more done within that one stop. I mean, if you've ever had to take or a toddler out of or put a toddler into a car seat on a 87-degree day where it feels like 93 outside and there's a bunch of people everywhere, you would realize that, yeah, I'm going to go to one store and one store only, and I want to come straight home, and I never want to experience the outside world again. So I think that could have also added to the problem as well. And my last thing is that I feel like Toys R Us just didn't innovate enough. They didn't do enough with what they had. I feel like they could have had more events, more midnight releases. They could have played up their video game sections more. They could have had tournaments within their stores. Now, I don't know how shackled each individual Toys R Us store is based on what the main parent company will allow them to do, what their different branding license will allow them to do, the different products they carry in their store. But I think just doing special stuff like for the release of Black Panther, or for, maybe have a Princess Day for all the females that come out, all the girls that come out, guys can come out. You can have princess cosplayers there. You can have a discount on all princess items. Just kind of stuff to inspire people and families to come out and have an actual event at Toys R Us instead of just going to the store and buying a toy and leaving. And the last thing I kind of already, I know I said that the last thing was the last thing. This is the actual last thing. I kind of touched on it in a previous topic, but I feel like just the size of the store and the inventory is just so much. I mean, whenever I walk into Toys R Us, I'm like, wow, like I didn't even know that most of these toys were a thing. And I watch programming aimed at children. I don't normally watch the cartoons, but I will. I mean the commercials. I do watch cartoons. I love the cartoons, but I don't watch the commercials. But I'm like, I didn't even know that all this stuff were brands, that they were available in stores at all. And I feel like if they would have kind of condensed it down to maybe like a mall store, I think they would have helped out a lot. I remember going into like what was this store? KB Toys or something like that, and always being excited to go in there. I think they could have still had the branding, still had kept the stores around, but just, well, not kept stores around, but kept the brand around, and just by shutting down their large stores, saving all that money, and moving into malls. I mean, how great would it be to go to the mall, because you're going to be there anyway. You can eat at the mall, you're going to go shopping at the mall, and you can stop by the Toys R Us store within a mall. I think that would have helped as well, and because every time I go to the mall, there's never really a store there, unless there's like a third party like independent store that really caters to selling toys to kids. And then if there are, they normally end up getting shut down and packed up and moved out because not a lot of people go there. So I think having the brand name of Toys R Us and having a smaller section of inventory within a mall store could have really turned the company around. And then maybe they could eventually reopen a couple of bigger stores, but getting most of their revenue from their mall stores inside of malls and shopping centers and stuff like that. So anyway, those are just my thoughts. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Toys R Us could have been saved? Do you think we as fans and we as geeks and nerds and collectors could have done more to keep the store afloat, or do you think they could have moved more into a primarily online space or a primarily smaller space inside of shopping centers and malls? What do you guys think? And also, have you gotten your final purchase from Toys R Us? Have you picked up your final item from Toys R Us? If you have, let me know that in the bottom. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, hit the bell on the side to be notified of new videos every week. And what can I say? I'm going to miss Toys R Us a lot. I'm always going to be a Toys R Us kid at heart. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a common fan.